Today, I'm going to explain the subtle and complex ways in which a narcissist manipulates your emotions and weaponizes your vulnerabilities, and why even intelligent, rational, emotionally well-adjusted people can fall prey to a narcissist's manipulation tactics. At the end of this video, I will also tell you the 3 biggest mistakes people make when they first realize that they are in a narcissistic relationship. Number 1 is that they are master charmers. Narcissists, including covert ones, are typically very good at reading people and quickly understanding their needs, desires, and emotional vulnerabilities. And they tailor their approach to make you feel like you're the center of their world, showering you with attention, compliments, and affection. And while overt narcissists may use grand gestures to display their affection, covert narcissists often use subtle tactics, often presenting themselves as humble, shy, or even self-effacing, which makes their attention feel like a rare and special gift. A key difference is that covert narcissists will paint you as their hero, positioning you as the one who truly understands them and can help them, creating a false sense of importance, obligation, and responsibility. Overt narcissists, on the other hand, paint themselves as the hero of the story and as the answer to all of your prayers. At first, the narcissist's attention, whether overt or covert, can feel so overwhelming and authentic that it's hard to believe that it could be anything but genuine. The second reason that a smart, well-adjusted person might fall for a narcissist's tactics is because they want to believe in the fantasy of ideal love. Let's face it, part of us still harbors a secret desire to have that perfect, all-consuming love, one that feels destined, like something out of a fairy tale. And narcissists are really, really good at tapping into that fantasy. They know exactly how to push the right emotional buttons, making you believe that this is that one-of-a-kind love you've been looking for and longing for. Something really extraordinary, unique, and meant to be. Whether they present as your perfect partner or as someone in need of your rescuing, they make you feel indispensable, like their soulmate. And in the early stages, it's really easy to get swept up in this fantasy that they create where everything feels perfect. The love bombing, the promises of a fantasy future together, and the constant flattery all align with this vision of an ideal relationship. And it can be intoxicating for anyone. But the problem is that by the time you start seeing the cracks in this illusion, you're often so emotionally invested that you don't want to see the red flags and the inconsistencies. So you turn a blind eye, hoping that the problem will go away. Number 3 is cognitive dissonance. Cognitive dissonance is the psychological tension that arises when your beliefs or your perceptions clash with your reality.
So subconsciously what happens is when you have 2 opposite thoughts, your mind jumps in and it will try to close the gap between those 2 opposite thoughts. The purpose is to relieve you from this pain and make you happy once again.
For example,
and Mark is in love with Stephanie. Now, but something has happened lately, she doesn't respond to him anymore. And when he reaches out to her, she doesn't reply back, and it's very hard for him to get a hold of her. His first thought is clearly that they had an amazing relationship together and that they were deeply in love. And the other thought, she didn't love me at all.
Now, obviously, these 2 thoughts contradict each other. And one solution to the dissonance is to accept the hard truth and move on. But because he wants the love story to be true, he minimizes her behavior, rationalizes that maybe she's just busy or stressed. So he tries harder and makes up even more excuses and keeps lying to himself.
In psychology, this is known as dissonance reduction behavior. To basically keep you happy and satisfied and keep you smiling. But this can have disastrous consequences. Because what would happen is you become irrational. And when you become irrational, you go straight back to fantasy land.
Number 4 is gaslighting. And this is a powerful manipulation tactic where the narcissist systematically distorts your perception of reality to make you doubt your own sanity. So once the love bombing stage is over, they start to subtly undermine your sense of reality, telling you that things you know happened never did, or that you're remembering things incorrectly. So they might deny ever saying something hurtful or insist that a situation played out in a certain way when you know that it isn't true. And this manipulative behavior is designed to weaken your confidence, make you question your sense of reality, and eventually make you feel like you're the one who's out of touch with reality. And the longer that this goes on, the more you find yourself second-guessing your instincts and becoming increasingly confused and reliant on the narcissist version of events. And in this way, gaslighting erodes your trust in yourself, leaving you vulnerable to further manipulation. Number 5 is the need for validation. Narcissists have an extreme need for external validation. But we have to remember that everyone has a desire to be validated. Narcissists prey on this universal need by offering intense attention and validation in the beginning of the relationship, making you feel incredibly special, seen, and understood. This early validation can be so overwhelming that you might even suspect that it's not entirely genuine, but you might hold on to hope that it is real because it feels good. And when they pull all that validation away that you might already be addicted to, it makes you feel horrible. So they start to replace the validation with complaints, criticism, and contempt, convincing you that their cold or even cruel behavior is your fault, or that it's excusable because they're stressed or they were traumatized as children, making you feel sorry for them and responsible for their emotions and their bad behavior. And while it may be true that they're stressed and traumatized, their lack of accountability for their actions and for getting the help that they need is not okay. But unfortunately, they may manage to convince you that you are to blame for not meeting their needs. And this creates a dangerous cycle where you find yourself constantly striving for their approval, anticipating their emotional highs and lows, and trying to avoid their punishments and withdrawals. Number 6 is trauma bonding. So when the devaluation phase begins and the narcissist starts to pull away from you, you might feel like you've lost something really precious, and this can lead to an overwhelming emotional reaction. This emotional roller coaster, so the intense highs of love bombing mixed with the painful lows of devaluation and discards, creates a cycle of emotional dependency and addiction. To learn more about the chemical reactions in your brain and how trauma bonding actually works, click on the link above. Number 7 is the false hope that the narcissist will change. Many people who find themselves in narcissistic relationships believe that they can fix the narcissist or that their love will be enough to make them change. Sometimes when a narcissist feels like their grip on you is slipping, they may offer fleeting apologies or promise to change. And as convincing as this might seem, the purpose is to reel you back in and keep you holding on to hope that maybe they do really care. Maybe they will change. Maybe this time will be different. But narcissists rarely change because they don't see a need to. Their needs are being met. And often it's because they can't. However, over time, as the cycle of devaluation repeats over and over again, and you're made to feel like you're failing, like a better partner could make them happy, you might begin to accept this as truth and accept or even normalize the narcissist's toxic behavior. The manipulation becomes so ingrained that you almost don't even see it as abuse anymore, even though you would be completely appalled to see someone you love being treated this way. Narcissists are really, really good at creating illusions and exploiting emotional vulnerabilities. And your 3 biggest mistakes when you realize you're with a narcissist is 1, thinking you can handle it. And you may think that you're strong enough to manage the ups and downs, but the reality is that narcissistic manipulation is subtle and it's systematic and it wears you down over time. The second thing is thinking that you're different and special. So they create the illusion that you're the chosen one and that things are going to be different with you, that you have the power to make things work where other people have failed. But in reality, this is just another tactic to gain your loyalty and strengthen your sense of obligation towards them. Third is giving them the benefit of the doubt and not trusting yourself. So even when your instincts are telling you that something is off, you stay a little longer, giving them the benefit of the doubt, and this sucks you in further and often leads to addiction. So the key is to not accept their love bombing tactics or get addicted to their validation, because as soon as you become dependent on their rewards, they will have control over your emotional state. And you'll be shocked at how often emotions win over logic, almost every time. If you're in a toxic relationship, consider reaching out to a therapist who specializes in narcissistic abuse. And if you're trying to break a trauma bond and become manipulation proof, please check out my men's group coaching program that I linked in the description section below. If you found this content helpful, please take a moment to like, comment, subscribe, and to learn more about trauma bonding, please click on the link above.